What's up, guys? We are back. Fitness Profit Multiplier, Anthony and Jimmy. Today, we're going to be talking about what you should be focusing on a daily basis. But before we tell you what you should be focusing on, we need to tell you what you shouldn't be focusing on. So, first thing you shouldn't be focusing on is, I'm going to say it, scrolling through, just wasting time on the socials.
Yeah.
Not what you want to be doing if you want to have $1 million facility. But that's a side note for a whole separate podcast. But let's get it started, Jimmy. What should they not focus on?
Well, what we want to look at is you as an owner in your daily life, what you want to not be focusing on, and what you don't want to be focusing on in your gym. So as an owner, we focus on all these little things. Should I switch my client management software? Should I change this little thing at the gym? Oh, should we go with 6 members per session or 4 members per session? Should we have should we put a physical therapist in our space and have them rent space? Should we have a cryo in our gym, right? A cryo chamber, whatever these guys are adding to their gyms, right? Oh, should we redo this part of the gym? Should we have a big build out? Should we have a towel service? All these little things that tend to make no difference in the profitability of your business. Should we build the gym out this way? Should we have a wall here? Should we, change the layout of this? All those things are things that are distracting, and they're really shiny objects that don't progress your gym anymore. It's not about how nice your bathroom looks or how remodeled it is. It has to be clean, but you spending a ton of money on remodeling a facility to look a certain way doesn't change the revenue or the profit of your business that much. It's not the build out and the fancy towels and the marble countertops in the bathroom and all these things that grow you. That's not what you should be focusing on in your gym. When we talk about the gym as a whole, does it matter what certifications your trainers have? Probably not. Even though in the industry, we say, okay, these are the gold standard certifications. A lot of us that own gyms have degrees in this stuff. But do those things matter in the long term with your training staff? No. What matters is that your clients get a positive experience, and they are the ones that really judge if you are a successful gym owner or not. They're the ones that make you successful or not. So those are the things that matter, or those are the things that don't matter, right? All these other things. It's your client experience that matters more than anything when we're talking about the gym as a whole. Now, when we're talking about the owner themselves, this is a cool dovetail that I didn't even think about talking about, is what should you be doing as an owner to get yourself to that level? Okay. So when we look at the gym, the main thing, so there's all this stuff that you shouldn't be focusing on when you're talking about your gym as a whole. But the main thing you need to be focused on with your gym as it exists as an entity is the quality of the service. And that comes down to a multitude of factors which we talked about on other podcasts. But if you're more concerned with the type of equipment that you have, the type of machines that you have, the towel service, the build out, the high level of elegance that your space has in terms of its appearance, that's not going to get you to $1 million gym. What gets you to the $1 million gym is the quality of the training that you put your coaches through and the customer experience throughout their journey working with you. Those are the things that need to be focused on most when we're talking about the gym as a whole.
Yeah, and the whole thing is the client experience thing is kind of like fugazi, right? Like it's not a real tangible thing that you can actually touch, right? Like how do you know if the sessions are really going, like, how do you rate your sessions? And these are the things that you always want to try to be figuring out. Like, okay, that makes sense. This is, this session was poor. This session, it's not as cut and dry as like, okay, I made X, I spent X. It's not that cut and dry. But the client experience is really important. So the way you look at it, and the lagging indicator to this is going to be how many people are leaving your facility. If you have a high churn rate, that means that there's something going on with your client experience. And the way that we found to fix that is by educating your staff, weekly trainings with the staff. Your job as a gym owner, once you kind of pull yourself out of that training role, is to lead your trainer. And a good client experience will keep clients longer. And you have to do that by educating your trainer. So your job becomes chief education officer to your employees. Go through, do trainings with them. We do it once a week. We have 2 training sessions. One training set. We do 2 actually. So we do one is more of like, we talk about what's going on in the gym and just kind of like whatever. And then we do like our overall meeting, right? But in that second one, we usually go through more things in detail. We talk about the sessions, what's going on with people's form, what's going on with, how do we coach this movement, teach them the squats this way, and go through all these different things. But that improves your client experience way more than having the towel service and having the nice countertops. Like I said, it can be kind of fugazi, but you're going to have to look at that lagging indicator of client retention to figure out if there's something going on there.
Because as much as you think that it may be, and these things are good to do, but as much as you think that it may be the handwritten cards that you send out and the accountability check-in calls and the parties that you do and all these different things that you implement in your gym for retention purposes, people aren't going to quit something that they love. So if they love it from day one and they love it every single session, that's the focus. You need to put in your staff's mind that they are on the chopping block every single day to make sure that that session is the best thing that that person has ever experienced. Your clients are not, you've only gained them for a day. Your clients are not guaranteed forever. So if you put in your trainers' minds that these clients are not guaranteed, they're not guaranteed going to be there all the time. And it's your job to give them such a good experience that they want to stay day after day after day. So every session is a test to see if that client is going to have the best experience to come back another day. Because we're in the business of helping people. We're in the business of making sure that they're committed and consistent with their training. So we need to prove to them every single workout that this is the place for them. So that your trainers are always on the chopping block. And you have to instill that in them so they do their best work every single time they're on the floor. That's the focus in client experience. We can talk about all these other strategies and tactics you can use. Like some gurus out there will tell you, you got to do this, and this. Those things are great and those things are fine. But if your customer experience just sucks, and as hard of a pill to swallow as that is, if your client experience sucks, you will know because you're losing 7 to 10% of your member base every month. If you're losing more than 7% of your member base each month for a full quarter, you have a problem with client experience and it needs to be changed. So we talk about focusing on this. We could talk about the psychology of you as a gym owner and what you need to be focused on with your time, but that's a quick answer, right? You need to be focused on growing your business, marketing and sales. That's what you need to focus on. If you're not performing marketing and sales activity, you're doing something wrong. If you're spending your mornings scrolling Facebook, you're spending your time screwing around and fixing something at the gym and putting something on the wall or whatever. These things need to be done, but that's after you have your dinner. You got to eat your peas before you have your ice cream. And eating those peas is getting on the phone and dialing, right? So that's pretty quick on what you need to be doing and focusing on in your business. What are the activities you need to be doing to grow it? But It's not about bells and whistles. It's about how that person feels.
Yeah. All clients, when they come to your facility, they're excited. They start at a 10. And then every little negative thing chips away at that 10 until they get to whatever number you want to say, a 5, and then they quit. So like, okay, you don't do proper onboarding, which is part of client experience, right? You don't do proper onboarding. So the person's really excited, but they don't know how to start it. They don't know how to get into a session. So now they're at a 9. Come into a session, no one knows their name. They're confused as to why they're even in there. They're not feeling comfortable. Now they're down to an 8. They start doing some sessions. Maybe they're not getting their proper instruction. They're down to like a 7 at this point. They miss a workout. No one contacts them back. They're at a 6. They're like, that place doesn't care about me. I'm done. And they left. So this is how you have to look at client experience. And that's what you need to focus on. Like Jimmy said, stop focusing on the towels and hanging the stuff up. Focus on training your staff. Chief Education Officer is your job when you own a facility. So this way you can have the best facility and get to that 7-figure run rate, earn more profits, and get more freedom in your life and in your business. Because think about it. What would an extra $20K per month do for you in your life? Let that hang a second. What 20K? What can you do with 20K? Can you finally go on vacation? Can you finally get a new car? Can you finally pay rent? All these things are so important. So if you guys want help with any of that, click the links below. And until next time, Anthony and Jimmy, Fitness Profit Multiplier, we are out.